Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to another episode for Neosland. This is a Q&A session where we're going to find out more of the great stuff like, where did the horse dung go? Jacques, how are you today?
Hi, Marcus. Pretty good.
Good, good. So, we've been going through each one of these Q&A sessions and kind of looking at what has been removed from the daily tier awards. And so far removed is horse dung, which apparently is going to be the most valuable item in the game. Gargoyle statues, guest
that's
book,
great.
and don't we have one other item that's been removed?
Yeah, one item was actually yesterday because we totally missed that on the show and so on. It was the bookshelf.
The bookshelf. Okay. And there's a bunch of items here. You can see it on the Kickstarter page. The big red X's when they've been removed. The bookshelf does not have its X, but you now know that one's been removed. And last we talked about the magic pot. The next item in the list is the communication orb. And I see an eyeball in it. What is the communication orb?
So the communication orb allows you to be able to put there's going to be two sides to it. There's going to be a receiver and a transmitter. So the transmitter, you can put it in certain places, like for instance, say in your store, right? And if you put it in it has an area around it that it will pick up communications that people are doing. For instance, say somebody comes in your store and they chat, because chat is not like a global chat; it's local chat.
Right.
So that they'll be able to say they were chatting. You'll pick up what has been said in that in a certain range around it. So it'll send that communication down to you, so you can know if people are in your store, talking about certain things or something like that. You can go there quickly, or you can use it for spying, maybe. If you wanted to put it somewhere.
So I can put it in the guild house.
Yeah.
In my neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Oh. Hide it under the floorboards. Oh goodness, we could be evil with that thing. Okay.
Just a bit. Now if Kickstarter will allow me to make my pledge.
Oh, you're having troubles making your pledge?
Yeah, I've tried for like the past 3 days to make my pledge. It keeps declining my card. I checked everything. All Kickstarter did was say, "Oh, go through these 3 steps again." It's really freaking annoying. I'm wondering how many other people have had this problem. I'm told that it's probably a problem with my bank not allowing Kickstarter to do it. However, the people at the bank are telling me there's no problem, and the pledge doesn't apply until after the Kickstarter is done. I added money to the card, everything, because these are debit and prepaid cards that I'm trying.
Oh, I wonder if it's a Canadian processor, since it's Canadian project, and whether the Canadian processor won't accept American prepaid cards.
Yeah, it could be.
I got a debit card and a prepaid. So one's attached to a checking account, and one's,
So another method would be PayPal.
Oh, it'll go through PayPal?
Well,
yeah,
you just go straight.
It won't be on the Kickstarter, but the PayPal we have on our website. You can do PayPal on our website. The same rewards, everything like it.
Yeah. So if you've got PayPal, go over to the website and just put your pledge in there. It won't show up in the total on the Kickstarter, but it'll lock you in.
Okay.
So, and if you aren't sure how much you're going to do, put in $10, and then figure out how much more you'll send to get up to whatever package you want.
Yeah, and the only difference is also on PayPal, if you want to change your pledges, you just have to shoot us an email, to say you're changing. That's the only difference between that and Kickstarter. Kickstarter, you can change it automatically.
All right.
That one, we just have to change it.
I'll see if Kickstarter emails me back again today, and if not, I'll just go that route.
Yeah, don't miss out. I don't know what's being taken away tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'm already pissed that I missed the bookshelf.
Oh,
I am livid about that.
Oh,
might have to sell you one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit, Mr. Fez there.
Maybe just do that $10 there quickly on PayPal.
I am so upset with Kickstarter that I'm going to, when I get into the game, I'm going to find every one of those bookshelves and I'm going to eliminate them. So no one can have a bookshelf.
We have our first arsonist.
No. There are other ways to eliminate bookshelves. You don't have to burn
Destroy them.
Yeah.
There's other ways to destroy them or steal them.
Okay, so for those of you who are watching live, you can submit your questions in chat here. Just put a little @Saint there, and he will see that. So we are. It's a little bit freeform today, and depending on how much Q&A we have, second hour may be a round table, and which is going to be a really fun one, by the way. So I hope we get to do that. But we'll see how many questions we've got here and everything. Saint, have you got anything in the queue for us? He's MIA. Okay, so let me just say that that we also had scheduled originally to be finishing up combat today, and we decided that after talking with Jacques, that he wants to have a powwow with some of the programmers and stuff to talk about some different things about what we came up with in the creative stage of that. And so after he's had his powwow, we will do the evaluation with him, and we will see what we can ratify, what we can come up with. So, okay, Saint.
Is it working now?
It is. It is.
Marcus, before we do questions, I just wanted to mention a few things that has happened that we updated. One of the things that we are looking at is the size of the plots and so on that we were giving away. Like
you told me that you're giving everybody a bonus, like right off the bat.
Yeah, we wanted to increase that because we felt that we wanted people to have a little bit more space to do their things and what they wanted to do. So we increased it quite a bit for everybody, and so it's definitely now looking really, really good in the sizes that it is. Especially with the King's Land, where you get over 576 tiles. So that's pretty big. You can build a very nice castle with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's huge. So,
and one more thing to mention. Sorry, one more thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. One more thing I just wanted to add to make sure people don't get confused now is we changed the $300 first builder pledge. So we closed the first one, and the reason being is we can't edit any pledges, any reward systems after the fact, after people start pledging on it. So just to make sure that people don't get too confused that we put that one as all gone. So everybody that's locked into that one will get the other one, get the same rewards as the other one, basically, that we added in now, which is the first builder number 2. Just so people know that they're getting exactly the same thing as the.
They're not getting gypped.
First one.
They're not getting gypped, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And I just wanted to say something because what you realize when you're putting together a video about the block sizes and everything and building some homes and stuff, you kind of realize that that it didn't match up quite right, and so that's why you decided to increase the number of blocks each person gets.
Yeah.
But there's a side effect to that, which I don't know if you thought of it or not, but I thought of it, which is that now that the block sizes effectively are a little bit smaller, they're not smaller in size, but now you have more of them, so you now have more options for more intricate buildings.
Exactly. That's the one thing we're definitely looking at. Like, we're busy putting together a little video that will show each block sizes in game for you, and you can see exactly how the building system works in that sense, and what you'll be getting for whatever you're paying.
Yeah, so I just thought that was a nice side effect because what you guys had in mind originally was people to be able to do this, but when you put it into practice, it needed a little change.
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
Yep.
Any other announcements before we go into some questions?
Let me just see. No, I don't think there's anything else at the moment. I do want to say that we've already received over $2,000 in pledges on PayPal. I'll be adding a counter of that onto the website today at some point, so you can see both pledges. And it's not just what you see in Kickstarter; it's also what we see in PayPal as well.
Okay. Very good. So, okay, Saint, hit us.
All right, this has to do with the housing. Person would like to know, would there be any way to prevent one player from owning a majority of the housing market?
So what has been discussed before also for housing was, and we're going to be implementing this, is each time you buy a certain tile, the cost of it, so if your first tile will be a certain cost, the standard cost, and then the next one that you buy from us will have will be going up in cost. So eventually, I mean, that's the way of preventing people from owning too much, like going crazy and buying all the land up. But I mean, we can't totally prevent that, right? Otherwise, you're putting restrictions on the players. But we put a system in place there that basically, if he's going to be doing that, it's going to cost him a hell of a lot of money, to be honest.
It'll actually flip upside down in the economy, because it'll get to a point where if you own too many of them, then the amount of resources that you can provide, you can get out of each block would not be enough to cover what your
cost.
The maintenance cost or the tax. So it just be kind of self-limiting.
Yeah.
So okay. Yep. And I also want to mention we do know we have a lot of combat questions, but what we're going to do is we're going to cinch up the primary foundation of combat before we go into all those combat questions, and we'll do that in a few days.
Okay. This one is, you can see his name here, but they basically want to know, what protection will there be for your kingdom during the day when you're at work or school?
So what protection will it be when you're at work or school? Well, if you're at work, you could have the API that will warn you if there's somebody attacking you. I don't know about school, though. They might not allow that there. But I mean, you'll definitely, when you do build your kingdom or your houses or whatever you're building, you'll be able to put in protection items in there that protects it somehow. You're going to be building it stronger. There's going to be a lot of different ways you can protect it. So it's going to be up to the player per player what they wanted to do and how they want to protect it. That being said, the only difference is going to be if you bought the land protection on it, which will allow no other player to grab it from me if you bought that with real cash.
And the difference between that is that this protection or this insurance or whatever, it keeps someone from having the opportunity to take your land away from you. It doesn't stop them from battering down your walls if they keep punching at it all day.
Assuming they live that long.
Yeah. Well, I envision I'm going to have a whole bunch of different types of traps, and that person's going to keep dying over and over and over again. And my gargoyles and golems and dragons are just going to beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, I have to mention though also with the walls and stuff, and we're not going to make it that it's like a 2-second thing and you're just going to break into somebody's house just like that. There will be a time thing, or something like that. It won't be easy to do those type of things, right?
Do you envision that we'll have any sort of high security within our houses? Like, will we be able to have one chest that itself cannot be broken into, or where am I going to put my most valuable items? Do I have to take them to the bank and put them in a bank box, or do I, and other stuff like, my rewards that really can't be taken away from me.
Well, the rewards can't be taken. It doesn't matter where you put them.
And so they can't be destroyed,
yeah.
And everything. And so, but I'm just, I don't want to come back and find my house has been obliterated. I don't mind coming back and having to do a few repairs and some maintenance or whatnot, but I don't want to come back and find it's been obliterated. Maybe if I'm gone for months, that's a whole different story. But
I'm not sure we've talked about this specific question, but my feeling is that we would want to impose a small bank for everybody to start off, because you might have a lot of items you don't want to carry with you the whole time. So there will be most probably a bank which you will be putting some items in, or some form of that thing that you can keep a certain amount of items in, and that will be pretty much secure totally.
Do you envision that we're going to have like an NPC village that we start out at, or?
There's going to be a few starting points, right? We will have we won't say it's a village as such. It might be one or two buildings and a few NPCs just to get you going. But we literally want the people that get into the game on alpha, to be creating the cities and the places like that.
Mm-hmm. So where would we find this bank?
Well, that will probably be one of the little buildings that we will be placing in there, maybe to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
And then as towns grow, right, they will have the capabilities of adding their own town stuff, like they could add in roads and stuff like that. And a bank would be one of the things that they were able to do too, right? That's they can add into it.
Will bank boxes be global or local? We haven't talked about that either, but it just hit me.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that. I would think the way we're designing at the moment, it should be local, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to be global if we've done everything else local.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The only thing that should be global is maybe our charge cards. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, we'll have to figure that stuff out. So, sounds like fun to me. I'm ready. I'm ready to go out there and go forth and start building. I did get into the game yesterday. I saw a pig. I attacked it. It killed me. And I was looking around in the game today. I'm looking to make some little videos that we'll be able to share. And I stayed way far away from the pigs.
Went after the rabbits. Even more
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just like that story I was telling about how I went and killed tried to kill a rabbit in Ultima Online my first day, and it killed me. So, yeah. Jacques was right there whenever it killed me. He let it kill me, too. He is
Well,
so
we were both
evil.
attacking it, and he turned around and killed you. I don't know. I didn't like you at all.
Yeah. So, yeah, bastard. Okay, let's continue on.
big sharp teeth. Sorry, couldn't resist.
Yeah. Okay, Saint, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I got you. I was waiting for Eva to finish. Okay,
I'm
here we go. They want to know about housing. Would you need construction skills to actually bolt the houses down, or just make the houses parts themselves? And can anybody assemble the house per se? Like, do I need to actually go out and get the parts first, or once I purchase the land, just start building the house?
You're gonna definitely need resources. Like each part of house that's been built, or whatever you're building, type of wall and so on, will require certain resources. And it's not going to be like an instant thing where you place it down. At the moment, it's instant when we're placing, showing it, but it's because we haven't implemented all the resource systems yet. We're still getting to that. So when you put that down, it'll take a certain amount of time, and you physically have to like either stand there and building it, or you can hire NPCs to help you build it, or you can even hire other players. So we wanted to put it in as a skill system too, so that it requires a certain skill, just to open up the market for player-to-player trading and stuff, in a sense of using their skill that they've learned and maybe build your house quicker for you. So if you have a castle, you might hire a few players, to help you build it, or get a few guild members to help you build it, so it gets up built quicker.
And it's going to take a lot of resource gathering too, isn't it?
Yeah, for castles at least, definitely. And like certain things, I mean, if it's just you can most probably start off with just the basic house system with just like, say, wooden walls, that's going to just be some wood that you have to gather, when you go over to rock and then harder rock, like we want to secure your house more and stuff like that, it's going to be more resources and stronger materials.
And what if I build my house and I've got it done and everything, and then a month later I say, you know what? I want to tear off the roof and add a second level, or I want to just tear the whole thing down and build something new. Can I do that?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. The only difference is when you're tearing it down, we're going to have a type of a material sink, so it'll give you some material back, but it won't give you all the material back. Mm-hmm. So so you can't just change it and keep the same materials and stuff, but you'll get at least something back from it.
Yeah, okay. There'll be a resource suck every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So make sure you build it right the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember those 20-foot thick walls I was talking about?
Well, I know, so that you can have your giant tower.
Yeah. Well, you're the one that wants the giant tower. I want a castle with a large dungeon. There's a difference.
Right, right. Well, yes. You know, have any of you ever been to a real castle?
Yes.
And have you ever seen how thick the walls really are?
Yep.
It's amazing. I was at this castle in Germany where they housed the black powder in this one corner of the castle, and the walls were 40 feet thick where they housed the black powder. And there was a raid in like the 1400s or something like that, and the enemies set the black powder on fire. They ignited it, and it cracked that building, that section of the building in half, and it was 40 feet of stone thick all the way around. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, one thing I want to add to that that's going to make gameplay very interesting is we're going to have different materials that makes different strength of walls and stuff like that, and you know you can have different thicknesses, but you know there might be a thickness that's the full 4x4 square block. So you might get people that builds like 6 of them next to each other. So when you go and attacking that house, you don't know how thick it is, you know.
Oh, you don't know how thick it is, yes.
Yeah, so it might take you longer, or it might be thin, and they want more space, you know. Depending on how people want to secure their stuff, right? So they might go for the space, or they might go to make it totally secure and put a lot of thick walls on it.
You know what's really brilliant about this is that there's a class of game that's not very well, that there's not a whole lot of games in it, but it's called tower defense, and really this is part of what we're building here. Is how do you build your defenses around your homestead and you know the security and the structure of it all in defense of everything, and I think that there's going to be a lot of people who spend a lot of time with trial and error figuring all of that out, and you know what's the best defense, and then the other people on the offense are going to be like, okay, well, how many pounds of black powder can I get up against this wall before I blow it up?
Something like that. I think we're going to see a lot of community videos, YouTubes, and stuff like that. You know, like how to do certain things. You know, especially on this.
Okay, so here's another thing. We've talked about streamers and YouTubers and everything, and I actually have a goal to make this game the first game where streamers are actually streaming 24 hours a day, and that there's actually content to see. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be up playing 24 hours a day, but I think that there's going to be stuff of interest 24 hours a day. And, you know, so I can just envision like some external cam view on my house that anytime there's motion, the camera follows the motion. And so if somebody's trying to break into my house and I don't know, I could be in the front room watching TV and just have the laptop off to the side or my tablet or something watching the stream, and I could see that somebody's messing with my stuff. And,
well, that's one thing we could add into the gargoyle statue.
Yeah.
His eyes moving around watching you.
I just think that, if the gargoyle statue is the eyes of the camera, and then the person knows they're being watched when that gargoyle goes and lands on top of the wall and is peering over, going,
I got my eye on you.
Yeah. I think that stuff is all very awesome, and I can't wait. You know, like Evil, you know, you want to build your dungeon and everything, and you know, I don't know if you have any interest in live streaming or whatnot, but other live streamers may have interest in keeping an eye on your dungeon, which I think you're going to have the option to do.
Yeah.
And
are you kidding? First thing I'm putting up is an anti-magic field. Screw that.
Oh.
I don't want anybody coming in without my. I don't want people to see what's in there until they get taken out by it. Have the goblins collect their loot.
Just allow it in the front entrance, you know. You can see them coming in and
the ghosts
out.
And the ghosts coming back out.
Yeah.
And the fat dragon waddling back out looking for a toothpick. Yeah. I think that that I am so excited about this. One, because I'm a content creator, and this is one of the things that I do. But also, you know, in EVE Online, this one guy made this thing called the Jita Cam. And anybody who's played EVE has probably seen it, and I've seen as many as 10,000 people watching it simultaneously. And all it is all of the ships going in and out of port of the busiest space dock in the game. And what happens is that people bump into each other, people get pissed off at each other and everything, and you end up with these fights in front of the cam. And some people try and find the cam and to blow up the ship that's actually broadcasting. And it's just content where they're not even there to do it. They're just logged in and broadcasting it, and people find it interesting, and I find that very fascinating. Very fascinating. So, okay. You guys who are here on the panel, now a lot of you have been regulars in here, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 of us in here right now, and we want to. Let's see. Oh, it looks like maybe Twitch crashed.
Yeah, it seems so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see if it recovers here. We can continue on for the moment. With that said, with having 10 of us in here, I want to make sure that we have room for some new people to come in, that we're not always sitting at 10 people. So since we're at 10 right now, if there's any one of you that had enough of us for the moment and wants to drop out, that might be a good plan. Okay, so I'm going to restart the stream here, the streaming portion of it.
I'll drop out and let people.
I don't think it's you, Marky. I think it's Twitch as a whole. Everybody's feed dropped.
Everybody's is off, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mine's on. Mine's on at the moment.
Okay. Well, we'll continue on. We can at least... well, actually, this is end of the episode here. We're at time for end of the episode. And I'll reset my connection. Oh, yeah. My Twitch... it says my broadcast was terminated.
No, it's
wow. Okay, so end of the episode, but you guys here that are in the Hangout, don't go anywhere. And we'll see if I can reestablish a connection, and we'll do the next episode. And those of you watching on YouTube, you just have to wait for the next episode to appear. Please do subscribe, and thank you.